everybody. Welcome to the Wrestling Through the Years podcast. I'm the Armchair QB Dizzle. I'm here with Mean Gene, Dutcher Okerlund. Dougie's here. How are you, Dutchie?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
And I'm here, the man that puts the E in excellence, the excellence of erections. Eric's here.
What's up?
And we have C Money, Clintus in the building.
Yo.
Welcome to the Wrestling Through the Years podcast. We're here for a special one today, Doug.
Yeah.
And this is the third week of Doug's Reign of Terror, and then it's finally over. But he's picked for us to review the WWF Retro Battle of the Superstars 1992.
A Coliseum home video release. For anybody that doesn't know what Coliseum home video was, for years they controlled or they basically did WWE's home video releases. They basically had the license until 1997, and then WWF came up with their own home video division.
Yeah.
Coliseum home video also, they controlled, I'm not sure the name of the company, but they also had a stake in a company that produced adult films. So WWE was linked with the adult film industry for a while.
And that was before Paige.
Yeah.
Or Saraya. Which
I
I always thought was a stupid name.
Yeah.
I hate the name Saraya.
Well, I mean, that was kind of one of those. It was named. She was named after her mother, wasn't she? Or like the name was after her mother.
Maybe, I don't know. But I hate it.
So, but yeah, so Coliseum home video is, you know, they controlled a lot of the releases. So a lot of the, I mean, they did all the pay-per-views and stuff too, but they did release a lot of compilations, which is what this is. Mm-hmm. Apparently I forgot to tell everybody. But yeah, so this is one of, and I actually had this. I had the tape.
You had the VHS tape?
Yeah. I had the VHS tape. I had a lot of them from 92.
Yeah.
I had this one, I had Invasion, I had WrestleFest, I had Rampage. I used to rent Crunch Classic all the time.
Wow.
So I have quite a few of these sitting in a storage unit somewhere back in Western.
So you did watch this one before?
Yeah, I've watched most of the Coliseum home video releases before.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this one, I like this one because this is my favorite time period. So
92. Yep.
Yeah. So that's why I picked this one. And I felt like Hogan and Piper versus Sid and Flair was a good match to review. The rest of them, I'm not so sure.
Mm.
And I'm going to let you take us through here on the match order and the segments and shit, because it kind of got jumbled for me at a certain point.
Yeah.
I know we start with Hogan and Piper.
Yeah. By the way, they're doing throughout the entire tape, Sean Mooney is giving a history lesson on the USS Intrepid.
Yes. Which
I always thought was kind of cool that they did that stuff.
Well, how about fucking who was it? Who was the tailor's name? Was it Terry?
No, it was Needles.
Needles the tailor. That was a weird fucking segment, and that lasted a while of him like just going and fucking up different superstars. This is when they were like Vince was in his prime. We make movies, pal.
Yeah,
like this is what he was trying to like make everything a character. We're talking about the golden era, thing the last couple weeks that we've done. I don't remember Needles the fucking tailor when thinking about the golden era. Was he only on this tape?
I think so. I've never heard him mentioned. I think it was just Vince needed a segment for the tape.
It took up like 5-10 minutes though. It was
crazy. I honestly just skipped through all the segments and went to the matches.
So you didn't see the Bushwhackers doing aerobics with a bunch of hot women?
Dude, that was awesome. Bushwhacker yoga was pretty fun.
I saw it when I skipped it, but I didn't. I just wanted to watch the matches. So
he's a match guy.
Yeah.
Well, I do think that and I'm not chastising you, Eric, because you watch it however you want to watch it. But
that's my job.
But I do think that part of the charm and the magic of this era is that shit. is the vignettes, is the, especially when you're like watching primetime and stuff, and you like those segments made Dusty before he came in, $1 Million Man's vignettes. I mean, fucking Mr. Perfect shooting the basketball behind is like, this is like the best of their backstage stuff, in my opinion. And it kind of makes the charm of the era, and it kind of like makes it like you like get the fun of it. Yeah. Needles the Tailor was a little dumb, but fucking like you said, Bushwhackers fucking yoga or aerobics or whatever. That was hilarious. And the girls dancing around like this, and like a couple of them smiling, and a couple of them like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
And it's like, to be at the shoot for that would have been hilarious. Like, just the fact they were actually like taking swings. I do think nowadays it would get made fun of more and considered corny, but I do think that's what wrestling now is missing. And I've been saying it for a while, how it's a lot of, I don't like you, you don't like me, or I'm the best wrestler. No, I'm the best wrestler. And that's how you build a match. Whereas back then you had all this, you had storylines, and you had crazy stuff, and you had stuff throughout to keep you entertained, not just Slim Jim ads.
Well, and a lot of those, I'm sure a lot of those girls were people that were paid to come in.
Yeah, paid extras.
Paid extras, or sometimes they would go to like a, you know, they've gone to restaurants, they've gone to bowling alleys. You know, there's a Coliseum home video release where Slick teaches Kamala how to bowl. And there's like so like, I'm sure they went to the aerobic studio, and like, it wouldn't have been Bruce at the time. It probably would have been Kerwin Selfies. R.I.P. Passed away, you know, a couple weeks ago.
I'm glad Triple H paid homage to him.
Yeah. Too. Everybody did. Even Tony Schiavone and all them paid homage to Kerwin.
He deserves it.
So, I'm sure somebody went and said, hey, girls, this is what we're going to do. Like, you know, and obviously shelled out some money. There might have been some superstars' wives or girlfriends, you know, part of it. But you could actually tell, like, there was a couple of them. Like, the one girl that was kind of leading the class, like, she had no problem. She put in the tape, and she's just like, all right, you know, put the tape in. And then she saw them moving. She's like, what are we doing? But then she went along with it.
It was hilarious. It was so funny. I mean, because that was the oddball shit like that, and that's what made the Bushwhackers so lovable, is doing shit like that. But this was a fun time period, and it's because of stuff like that.
You know, that's actually how they promoted the tape, right?
Yeah.
So when because usually on Coliseum home video releases, they would run the commercial of, you know, normally it would be Mean Gene going, hi, folks, Mean Gene Okerlund here to tell you about the next release for Coliseum home video, and he'd run through the stuff.
Yeah.
But when, because this was on, I believe it was the Crunch Classic tape, and it wasn't Mean Gene promoting the tape, it was Luke and Butch saying, hi, cousin Luke, Battle of the WWF Superstars 92, we're going to do some aerobics. And I was just like, and when I saw that, I'm like, I want that tape.
It's such fun stuff, and this is getting towards the end of that time period.
Yeah,
too. And we're getting towards bad characters, but we're not there yet.
Yeah,
right now we still got a lot of good shit.
It's getting to so a lot of these matches were taped between, I want to say, between end of 91 into 92. So like right before WrestleMania. This was released after WrestleMania.
And I really think that this 92 roster, and like the end of the golden era, and the beginning too, obviously, but this time period or a little bit before that Ruthless Aggression era, like 2002, and WCW in 98 are like the three competitors for the greatest roster of all time.
Oh, 100%. Because
like,
I do agree.
Even on this show, you have like, I mean, you obviously start with your four biggest stars, but you have like Hogan and Flair and Piper and such legendary figures. And you also have like Bret Hart coming into his own as his own man, and Shawn Michaels kind of on a singles run with Sherry and stuff like that. And you see like they have the future, just like in Ruthless Aggression era, you had like Nash around, and you had Goldberg, and you had like the end of Austin and Triple H, but you also had Cena and Orton and Batista and the future right in front of you. So in 98 WCW was just stacked in its own right too. But I think that this era really has, and like even like Tatanka was like young and looked like he could do something at the time.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is that Tatanka had been with the company since the spring of 91, but they didn't put him on TV yet because they weren't sure with what gimmick they were going to go with.
Yeah.
They were going to call him War Eagle, and then he said, well, let me go by my real name. And then they decided, okay, we'll go with Tatanka. So it took them a while to get him on TV because they couldn't decide on his name.
That's crazy.
And
I know you were a fan.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Tatanka means buffalo.
There you go.
So,
shout out to us.
Yeah. But this first match, we're ready to get into this, right?
Yeah, it's Hogan and Piper, Flair and Sid.
Yeah. Flair was the WWF champion at the time. No Mr. Perfect in Flair's corner, by the way, which I found kind of weird.
Didn't feel like paying him that night.
And Piper was still the Intercontinental champion. How weird was it to see Hogan and Piper walk out together?
That was really weird.
It was.
Are Hogan and Piper
there was
teaming
the
up?
first match, and I'm like, what am I watching? I thought these two hated each other to the break of dawn. And these are having what was this? I had a lot of questions. It was like those memes where you have a lot of question marks around your head.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what's me watching this match.
So, I mean, obviously they were both baby faces at the time. They both had an issue with Flair. Hogan, they were building up to the Hogan and Sid Justice match. By the way, fantastic news this week. I do have to bring it up. Sid Vicious, Sid Udy, Psycho Sid, Sid Justice, and Bad News Brown, both going to be inducted into the Legacy Wing of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I had a feeling Sid was coming. Now, the fact that they're going to do the Legacy Wing, for anybody that doesn't know, the Legacy Wing of the Hall of Fame was something that Vince McMahon created 10 years ago to put people into the Hall of Fame that were already passed. And he was just going to put them in so people would quit bitching at him that these people weren't in. And it was just going to be, okay, they're going to get a short package. Did it for a few years, and then it went away. A video package. They didn't even get a ring. Their family members weren't even told. I remember one year, Barbara Goodish, the widow of Bruiser Brody, was asked about it. They're like, what do you think of, Bruiser being put in the Hall of Fame? She goes, I didn't even know about it. Nobody called me.
Wow.
So that was Vince's way of saying, quit asking me to put these people in. I'll do it, but this is all they're getting.
Yeah.
Last year, Triple H went the extra mile. He flew family members in.
Yeah.
And they got rings. So the fact that Sid Udy and Bad News Brown are getting in was, by the way, I never thought Bad News Brown would get in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Not because he didn't deserve it, but because he did not necessarily leave on good terms. No. And he talked a lot of crap before he died.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love the fact that they're getting out. I knew Sid was going to go in eventually.
Yeah.
Because there was talks. They kept asking him, like, before he passed. I guess Clemens had enough.
Not a Sid fan.
They had asked him, prior to his death, it's like, hey, do you want to get inducted? And he just kept saying, I can't leave the house, or he didn't want to leave the house.
Yeah.
But it's tremendous that they're both going in. I'm very happy about it. This match, I don't know. Should I try stalling for time, waiting for Clint to come back, or
no?
All right. Oh, there he is.
Sorry, drop the phone and next thing you know, I'm off the line.
Well, as long as you didn't drop it in the can.
Yeah. I've never done that, thank God.
No, I enjoyed the match. And I love Sid, and no offense to Sid, but you got three of the greatest of all time. And to me, I'm a Sid fan, but one of these things just didn't belong here. And it made sense for the WrestleMania program, but that makes me ask, why wasn't Macho in this spot? Was it because, we don't want to The mega powers have already exploded. Let's not. But I feel like this is the time to bring them back together. Macho's got a problem with Flair.
Well, I got the answer to that.
Go ahead.
Okay. At this point, there was still the advertisement, or on the house show circuit, Macho and Jake were still working.
Okay.
On the house show circuit. And Flair and Piper still had an issue because Flair and Piper, up to that point, they're working the houses in a cage.
That's awesome.
Okay. So they figure, okay, Hogan and Sid have the issue. Hogan and Flair have an issue. Piper and Flair don't like each other. Oh, yeah. And by the way, at an upcoming MSG show, this is our main event. So they tried it out.
Yeah.
So that's basically the answer to that question.
Okay. But it feels like, because this is after Royal Rumble is going into WrestleMania, you got Hogan and Sid. To me, it made more sense to put Macho in that spot.
Oh, I agree. I'm just saying, is that like from...
No, that makes sense logistically why they did it.
Yeah.
But I love Piper. But like you guys were saying earlier, it wasn't the beginning, them coming out, that really got me, but them at the end, like posing together and fucking Hogan's doing his classic poses and Roddy's smiling cheek to cheek. It's like, are we in the fucking Twilight Zone?
Yeah, I know. It was weird. But yeah, no. So it was a logistics thing is why that happened. And it was to sell Hogan and Sid, and the fact that Piper and Flair had been, still working the houses.
Yeah, it makes sense. One of the things about this match that really struck me was that everybody looks back at this era and they look at WrestleMania 8 and they're like, one of the biggest missed opportunities in the history of wrestling, one of the biggest what ifs, is we never got Hogan and Flair at WrestleMania.
Right.
And there's been like excuses and reasons why, because they did like shows in Madison Square Garden and they didn't draw that well and stuff like that. I don't think that necessarily was the match for the time that needed to happen. It wasn't like for hardcore nerds, yeah, it is the two greatest of each. But for the casual WWF fans, Ric Flair just came in kind of fucking had a lightning rod to him. Him and Macho's the better match, especially because we already were getting televised. Like, this is not on TV, but it's Coliseum home video. You got matches with Hogan wrestling Flair.
Yeah.
You just didn't get it at WrestleMania like that. But I've seen their matches together, and they had pretty good chemistry. Like when they finally did it in WCW, and then they wouldn't stop fucking doing it.
Yeah.
But that match compared to Flair and Macho, I'll take Flair and Macho any day of the week. And Hogan and Sid wasn't a barn burner, but it was more interesting to me. I prefer the way they went with it, and I don't think the business stays thriving. I still think things crack the way they crack, even if you do Hogan and Flair. I don't think it really does anything.
Well, and the funny thing is that Hogan was going to leave for a few months anyway, because that's when he got the part he was going to do Mr. Nanny.
Yeah.
Okay. So him leaving, or no, actually, I think at first he turned it down, thinking he was going to get the match with Flair and get the belt back. And then they started doing the matches at other houses. So they only drew 4,500 people in Atlanta at the Omni. By the way, that's a WCW building.
Yeah.
So anybody that's shocked, what are you, falling asleep?
Oh, me?
No, him. The one I can see.
Oh. I haven't said anything. I'm listening to the whole conversation. I'm like, oh.
No,
Yeah.
I just see Eric just kind of shaking his head, trying to keep himself awake, and it's just like, what the fuck?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So they draw 4,500 people in Atlanta, which is a WCW building, by the way. But they couldn't figure out. They're like, why didn't Hogan and Flair draw more people? Well, one, you're in WCW territory.
Yeah, but it's Ric Flair. That should counteract that.
Well, yeah, you are right. And I think that's what they were thinking, because that's one of the things that made them realize, fuck, if we can't draw more than 5,000 people in Flair territory,
Yeah.
how the fuck are we going to fill a 60,000 seat building?
Like, it's not Charlotte, but it's pretty close to Flair country.
Yeah, it's only a 4 or 5 hour drive
Yeah.
from Charlotte to Atlanta.
And he was like,
Yeah.
he drew in Atlanta heavy. in
Yeah.
his day. So
All right, so that's a good counterpoint. That's probably what they were thinking.
yeah, I think that might be one. If we can't do anything in Atlanta with Flair,
Yeah.
but you could still be right. There could be those WCW people like fuck Flair. They shouldn't have left. I don't like that he's with the WWE. I'm not going. So that could still exist a little bit. But I think that is probably what went. If we can't draw in Atlanta with Flair, and if we can't draw in MSG with Hogan, then what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah. And again, you have to fill a 60,000 seat building, the Hoosier Dome, which, by the way, and I know, we're going to be doing a WrestleMania thing in a couple weeks, the history of the history of WrestleMania or whatever it's going to be called. But I'll bring this up now. WrestleMania 8, they got 62,000 people in that building.
Yeah.
Anybody want to take a guess how many people paid to get in that building?
How many?
40,000?
You're close.
45.
You're closer.
42.
47.
He said 40,000. He says 25. How's he closer?
He said 45. He said 45, Clintus.
Oh, I thought you said 25. I'm like, what the kind of math are you doing?
No.
That's a lot of comp tickets. They're like, 30,000 people get in for free.
No. 47,000 people paid for their tickets. 15,000 people did not.
That's still crazy.
Wow.
That's a lot of free tickets. WCW got a lot of shit for that, for doing that. And
Yeah.
they would give away like 6,000.
Well, and that's the funny thing is that, like, it's called a so-so WrestleMania, but it's like, well, how the hell did you get 62,000 people in there? Steve Fall and Sean Mooney discussed this on the Golden Era podcast. And, it's like, well, it's still successful because you got 62,000 people in there. And Sean Mooney's like, yeah, but 15,000 got in for free.
Yeah.
How many get into free this year?
Well, and that's the thing with casinos, because when WWE first did Vegas back in the day, and I don't know if it still works like this, but I have heard this talked about, that a lot of the casinos, especially for like UFC fights and stuff and big events, they're high rollers and they're guys that come and gamble a lot. A lot of the times they get free tickets. So the first few rows might be just like heavy gamblers that might not even really give a fuck about watching wrestling. And they get comp tickets pretty much because the casino knows they're going to stay at the casino, they're going to eat the food, and they're going to gamble $100,000, $10,000, like $20,000 hands, something crazy. Like, yeah, we'll give them some free tickets. Which even though for WWE nowadays, that's pretty much $20,000. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So we might get a lot of comp tickets this time, and it might not even be by WWE. It might be by the Vegas itself.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting little tidbit. But yeah, I thought Macho and Flair had better chemistry and was the better match. And I think it's funny that the same people that'll be like, Hogan's always on top. Hogan always has the belt. Hogan are the same people that are like, Hogan should have fought for the belt. It's like, what the fuck? It's the first Mania since 1 that he hasn't fought for the belt. And he still had the belt at Mania 1.
Yeah.
So why Hogan's not in the title picture and we're still bitching? Like, what the fuck's going on here?
Well, that's wrestling fans.
Macho Man and Flair is obvious. It's two of the fucking greatest in ring going at it. Hogan's a great character, and Flair can bump his ass for him. But once you've seen that match, you've seen all of them.
Yeah,
they've had so many matches, and it's all the same fucking match. It's all the same backdrops and boots. And
I'll say this. I bet you if Cody wasn't fighting for the title, people would be bitching about that.
Oh, yeah. That's fans, and that's a fan, and
Exactly.
there's nothing wrong. Well, and that's the smart fans, as they call it, and there's becoming more and more of, and that's what people would call us, and sometimes we do fall into that category.
I don't think anybody's calling me smart.
I'll call you smart.
I call you smart.
You guys are too kind.
Don't worry, I'm not third in it.
Oh, smart ass.
Gwyneth, you've always been my favorite.
Brother.
Hey.
Hey, I'm honest, so you expect. I tell how it is.
What the hell?
What was that?
Eric's watching soccer.
No, I had somebody was trying to call me.
Oh.
Good guy.
I'm gonna be back in 10 seconds so I can move back to my computer so I can turn off my notifications.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, your Wi-Fi is better on your phone.
Yeah, but it's gonna die too soon anyway.
All right.
Okay.
Fair
Well,
enough.
do what I
Fair
do.
enough.
Keep your phone plugged in. My phone's plugged in. Hence why I dropped it.
Let the man go to his computer. You fucking bully.
All right. Do what you got to do.
Fucking Clint, they're like, no,
Yeah,
you stand on the phone.
Yeah. I don't know if that's we're the two guys you want to get double teamed by, but
I don't like the way it sounded.
Yeah, I pause. Pause. Flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
So.
Eric's Wi-Fi is already worse.
I told you.
He's blacker than me.
Yeah.
All right. This match.
What the hell are we doing?
It was a damn good opener, and this is because it was Coliseum and the way that it's set up. And by the way, I had to tell AI that this went on first because I tried to put it into Google AI, and I'm like, "Give me the full match card," and it's like,
It happened to him,
and it said that
it happened to Eric too.
It said the tag match goes on last, and no, it doesn't. And I had to type in no, and it's like actually it said no, you're wrong. It goes on last, and I said I just watched it. It goes on first. I argued with Google because it's like, and then it's like, well, you were right to trust your gut because it does. It's like I know it fucking goes on first. I just watched it.
Yeah, Eric, if you want us to hear you got to plug in your microphone. Didn't work. Nope.
He's doing it up.
Can you hear me now?
Nope, it didn't work.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear Clineth. I can't hear Eric.
This might be our best episode yet.
This is commentary to Eric's trying. Can you hear me now? No, we can't hear you.
We still can't hear you.
Clineth and I tried to tell you.
Stay on the
We
phone.
came off as bullies, but we tried to tell you. Oh,
Bull E.
Let's try to give this match a rating. Eric can pipe in whenever he wants. I think this was a very solid, even though you can't say opener or closer because this is a collection of matches, like you said.
yeah.
So, but this is a hot match. I think it's all four guys were fantastic and played their role to a T, right down to the Hogan must pose at the end. So I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 4.8 out of 5. I'm sorry to start with a decimal, but I can't give it the full 5.
Wow.
Clineth, you go ahead and go next.
I'm going to say I want to give it a 4. I think it was a good match. And now that I understand why this order is what it is and why things were so out of place, yeah, 4 will do.
Right.
I'm also giving it a 4. Oh, we can hear Eric.
I'll give it a 4 too.
All right.
4-2, he said. 4-2.
I think he said 4 also.
4 too. Yeah.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
I know what Clint is doing.
It's funny. Clineth and I always try to match each other's sarcasm for sarcasm.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So next up, we have the Bushwhacker segment. Them doing the aerobics. Yeah, that. Anybody else have anything on that? I know Clineth really didn't give an opinion on it. I don't even know if you watched the segment.
I was like watching it while I was doing. It was my background noise as I was doing my cash office today because I was like, I forgot which I had to watch, and I saw the links earlier last night. It's like, oh, great! I can watch it as I'm doing my cash office work. It'll be back.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, because like Eric had messaged me about it. And I'm like, I don't even know if the guys know where to find this.
I forgot what it was, and
There
we
was
had to
3
watch.
different ones. So, and then when you said 92, I went back and rewatched what you said. So it was 92.
Yeah. Well, Battle of the Superstars was a popular name for a tape. So they did the first one, then they did a second annual, and then they did the 1992 one. So but that's when I figured I'm like, oh crap, they might not know what the hell they're watching. So, and I should have given it like earlier in the week, but then like I thought about it yesterday. I'm like, they might need this.
I decided to go back and see what you said. And you said 92, and there was one that said 92. So,
yeah. But also because to be honest with you, I was kind of waiting for Clint to ask for the link.
And I kept saying, I got to ask for a link. And every day I went past, I was like, I forgot. And then I'll fall asleep when I was texting the message. And I was like, I'm like, And then I forget about it. And then I think about it during the end of the day. And then I was like, Thursday came. I was like, I'm just going to wing it. That's exactly what I want to do. I'll wing it.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, like last night when I was just like, you know what, they might need this. So let's.
All right, what's next up, Doug?
All right, so after this, we go to the 8-man tag. It's the Beverly Brothers and the Nasty Boys versus the Bushwhackers, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Sergeant Slaughter. This match was fun, and even though the heels won, the babyfaces got the last laugh after.
Yeah, the crowd was really into it, especially when they were chanting USA.
Oh, Duggan was huge.
Which is hilarious because I know they're chanting it for Duggan and maybe for Slaughter too, but
because they were the patriotic tag team.
But they're chanting it kind of for the whole team, and the Beverly Brothers and the Nasty Boys are both American.
The Beverly Brothers are from Minnesota, which, by the way, is an American city.
State.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of Minneapolis. Sorry. All right, it's American state thing.
How good wanted me to be wrong? So I can see in your mind, you're like, no.
How good did that feel to correct me for once?
Oh, I'm high as a kite off that.
Yeah. So the Beverly Brothers are from Minnesota. They were built from Shaker Heights, Ohio, but Mike Enos and Wayne Bloom are from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And the Nasty Boys just scream America.
Yeah. By the way, they're from they grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Makes sense. And I pointed that out last night. I'm like, they're all from the US, and you're like, and by the way, the Bushwhackers aren't. They're from fucking New Zealand.
Yeah.
So they're chanting USA, USA.
Yeah, while
I didn't know that. Wow.
Or while Luke is the one in the ring getting beat up.
Yeah. So I just found that kind of wrinkle hilarious a little bit. It's like, what, you act like these are like foreign heels. It's like it's all the U.S. They're on. I mean, the Nasty
I've always
Boys,
thought Bushwhackers were from like New York or something.
No. I remember the segment of them eating crocodile, and they'd be like, you could hear the New Zealand accents when they did it.
It was, yeah, I remember they were eating Bushwhacker. They were eating Bushwhacker Buzzard.
Okay.
And they fed it to Mean Gene, and then all of a sudden, Mean Gene started dressing like him. Yeah. So the match was good. I was never really a fan of the Beverly Brothers.
No.
But I mean, the baby faces got to stand tall at the end.
That was the one of these things don't belong here. That match.
What? Just like that match? Just
like the Beverly Brothers, like how I said that I love Sid, but he's not really in the comparison with Flair, Roddy, and Hogan. The Beverly Brothers really, to me, I love maybe some people don't rank the Nasties that high, but I love the Nasties. I love Slaughter. I love Hacksaw. And I have a huge soft spot for the Bushwhackers. So I like, as far as like the least over thing in the match, I would say that's the Beverly Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought it was fun, and I thought some of the best wrestling in the match came from the Beverly Brothers. So I thought it was a good, fun. Hacksaw was over as fuck then. This is like if Hogan ever got hit by a truck back then, Hacksaw could have held the strap perfectly.
It's like I've said before, and I said it a couple weeks ago when he got ranked on the countdown.
Yeah.
If he would not have got stopped on the pike with the Iron Sheik smoking crack, then no, like
I know you're telling the truth. It's just wrestling is insane.
Yeah. If they would not have been busted with all that, because they got busted with crack cocaine, they got busted with weed, basically everything Sheik could fucking put in his fanny pack. They had on him.
The Sheiky baby.
If he would not have gotten busted with Sheik, he would have been his push would have been huge. Because Vince brought him in because he was such a huge draw from Mid-South. And he wanted him to be the next Hogan. And he was well on his way because he was fighting the foreign heels, but then he got busted with one of the guys he was feuding with. So Vince was like, look, I'm going to bring you back because everybody likes you, but you're not getting a push. But they couldn't help how over he was.
Yeah, people loved him.
Yeah.
He's always been beloved. Always over. I'm going to give this match a solid 3 out of 5. I thought it was fun action. It was good.
I'm going to say 3 as well.
I want to give it a 2.
I'm going to give it a 3-3.
Clint's going to be like, you are cursed. Let your microphone go out again.
Nah.
It's just like, I'm too tired for that shit.
He's not a Danhausen fan.
I'm mad at him.
Top selling merch seller for the WWE this week, though, which is insane. So you can't say the guy's not over. He's selling more than Puck and all of them.
Well, he's not. He's injury prone, so he's only a vaccinated. Yeah.
Danhausen?
Yes, that's why he hasn't wrestled.
No, it's because he's a little vampire with a cape. I mean, there's not much wrestling. You don't want to see that main event with Cody Rhodes.
Well, technically, I don't want to see him wrestle. I would like to see him more like an R-Truth type person.
That's what they're doing.
No, like an R-Truth gimmick type person. You know what I mean? Like the 24/7, 7-Eleven, I-95, 24/7. that type of that he can pull that, but he's injury prone.
That shows you
he really is. Like Kenneth is telling the truth.
Well, I don't think he should be wrestling anyway. I think he's funnier in a backstage cursing people.
No.
No. All right. Doug, you did a great time to leave. What's the next match?
Sorry about that. I was getting my phone. I apologize. The next match is actually probably one of the better wrestled matches on the card, and that's Sherry's with him.
Sean and Bulldog. I forgot.
Yep.
You know what? I enjoyed this match.
It was so good.
This was a good match.
And this is what I was saying about the future. It's nice to see the legends in the first couple bouts, and now you see the future and what this company is going to kind of be built around for the next couple of years with like a young hot heel and Shawn Michaels and this fucking jacked badass Davey Boy Smith British Bulldog. I thought it was a fantastic match. It was wrestled great, and for doing a fuck finish, I thought it was actually a pretty clever fuck finish. Of her like trying to fuck with him, and then him like going to fucking power slam her, and him getting her out of the way. I enjoyed everything about this match.
Yeah, it was really good, and it's like, by the way, they have Bulldog and Shawn always had really good chemistry. For two guys that had to work with each other a lot for like the next like 5 years. Yeah. Because if you think about it, they worked quite a bit in '92. Matter of fact, Shawn took the Intercontinental title from Bulldog in '92. Yeah. They worked quite a bit in '95 and in '96. '97 it was a little murky because Shawn was upset because Bulldog was having an affair with the person Shawn was having an affair with.
Sunny days.
So.
And Brett was getting accused of having an affair with that person when he never did.
Yeah,
that's insane. By the guy that was having an affair with her.
Yeah, because the funny thing is that Sunny even admitted it, and she's just like, yeah. She goes, I was sleeping with Bulldog, and she's like, why were people accusing you of sleeping with Brett? And she was like, oh, to take the heat off of Davey, so Davey wouldn't find out, or so Davey's wife wouldn't find out. So they're just like, all right, we'll just blame Brett.
And I hear after let's put more heat on the Brett Shawn rivalry.
Yeah. So, but no, this was a great match. And some of these matches, like they did not need clean finishes.
Yeah.
And this was one of them because the match was still good either way. And Davey was like super over.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
They were both over. And Shawn was an over heel. I thought it worked. I do. And I love Sherry Martel, and we've given her all the props in the world, and she deserves her own episode someday. And she's one of the greatest. I like him singing his theme song better than her, though.
Right.
There's something the way he's like, I'm not your boy. Like she just doesn't. I mean, she sings it probably better and hits the notes better, but there's something about I'm a sexy boy and a gruff voice. Like Shawn Michaels just made it work.
Well, Jimmy Hart composed both themes.
Well, and he was a great musician.
Yeah.
But
well, because I think he did it because Sherry really wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
And so they're like, all right, well, we'll try it. Because Jimmy did a lot of the themes back then.
Yeah.
So they did it with them. And then when Shawn and Sherry, kind of went their separate ways, Jimmy's just like, all right, Shawn, you're going to sing your theme song now. And he's like, what? So he did it, and it worked out. I mean, he's been using that theme for what, 20 or 37 years or 30. I don't know. He's been using it for a while.
It's one of the greatest theme songs ever.
Yeah. And he doesn't need to ever change it.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. This match really worked for me. Like I was kind of saying earlier, it was not. This is one of my favorite time periods for stuff like this. And seeing Shawn Michaels with Sherry really coming to his own is one of those reasons. So I love late golden era, and this is one of the reasons why I'm going to give this one the 5. I thought this is pretty for a fuck finish. This is a perfect match.
I'm going to say 4.5.
I'm going to agree with Doug. 4.5.
Planet.
Man, I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.
And this is about where this tape should have stopped.
Yes, exactly. Because that's when I started falling asleep.
I think Needles was like right after this.
Yeah.
So we don't
I thought
need
it was a Bret Hart. I thought it was like the Bret Hart tag.
Nah, yeah, it was, but Needles is right before that because he's making a jacket for the Mountie and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about match wise. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, no, match wise, it is the 6-man. It's the Nasty Boys and the Mountie versus the Natural Disasters and Bret Hart. Natural Disasters fresh on a face turn.
And honestly,
that was such a weird team.
I didn't like. I love them as heels. They should not have been baby faces. You don't need like combine 1,000 pounds guys that could like kill you. Like, hey, we love everybody. Let's drink our milk. It's like, no, you need to calm down, you big bastard, or just destroy everybody.
I was wondering why those two were with Bret. It didn't make any sense.
No, but I honestly could have kept this match. I do think this match worked too. It's Skinner. Skinner almost put me into a coma. Skinner was that fucking boring. And I love Tito Santana, but that shit was terrible.
You're skipping ahead a couple of matches.
I know, but I'm just saying. We were talking about passing out and getting tired from watching it. Skinner almost fucking, put me to sleep for good.
Yeah. And there was one part of the match, like the 6-man tag, where like the natural Eric's checking his watch. He's got a date. There's a part in the match where the Natural Disasters are doing their thing in the corner where they're smashing up against the heels. And Brett's just kind of going with his hand on his hips. And I was just like, that looks like the most douchebag fucking thing ever.
Yeah. I thought he was really coming into his own as a babyface, though.
Yeah.
Besides that, he was doing this a lot, too. I remember him doing that before the matches, but it felt like for like the first 10 minutes of the match, he was going like that. Yeah. And I love me some Bret Hart with age. As I've grown up, I've become more and more of a Bret Hart fan. And it's not just because he's bitter, but
I mean, it helps.
It's one of the reasons. I love that he hates everybody. But I love that he thinks that Shawn and Vince are banging. And that he still hates Triple H. And at the Hall of Fame last year, Triple H shaking his hand, and then he rolls his eyes. I love that shit. But also, when you watch his matches, he's one of the best in the ring to ever exist. Everything he says is actually true.
Yeah. Now the fact
not
that
everything.
Now, the fact that he's actually has a few of his friends going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
Do you think that he's going to get the phone call, be like, "Hey, we need you to induct somebody"? Because he was friends with Bill and Barry, Demolition, and he was friends with Bad News Brown.
Well, hopefully they can fucking security it up at least, because so Sean doesn't put another hit on him.
Yeah,
because last time he was at a Hall of Fame thing, he almost got fucking ransacked.
Yeah. Back in 2019, yeah.
So I think this is a fun match for what it is.
I didn't like the count out. I think one of those assholes should have taken the fucking fall.
I like it I think it should be done more nowadays. Instead of, they do a lot of fuck finishes even now, but I like the idea of like, let's just leave. I do like the idea of a heel being like, and because now all you see is like the heel gets out, oh, I'm gonna walk away. No, the babyface goes, hits him behind, gets his heat, puts him back in the ring, and it's a fun moment. But I like the idea of like, you know what, fuck it, the match is over, I'm done. And that's kind of what happened here. Earthquake was about to squash the Mountie, and Mountie's like, you know what, I'm going home.
Yeah, Mountie's just like, I'm not doing the fucking job.
Yeah, I'm going to take a shower. I'm gonna give this match a solid 3.
I'm gonna agree with you.
I'm going to give it a 2.
I'll give it a 3.
All right. Up next, Repo Man versus Virgil.
Yeah, this sucked. This absolutely sucked. And I love Barry Darsow, and Virgil had a great moment with DiBiase. But Virgil was not over and could not do anything unless it was with DiBiase, it felt like. He had a great match and a great style with DiBiase, but whenever they had him do his own thing, and I know this was because the Repo Man is the one that screwed him against DiBiase, so it's a story here.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work. And the Repo Man was like, this was the beginning of, all right, we're getting a little dumb with the gimmicks.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't like, we're not at fucking the Goon yet, but we're getting close to it. And the Repo Man just, it didn't work. I hated this match, and I thought it was a 1.
Well, and the funny thing is that Vince called Barry Darsow one day and said, "Hey, I think the Demolition gimmick is done."
Yeah.
And Barry's like, "So am I getting fired?" He goes, "No." He goes, "I want to keep you, but I need a new idea for you." And Barry's like, Vince, back in the day, I used to repossess cars. God damn it, that's a good idea. You're going to be the Repo Man. He goes, "Okay, cool." So then they worked on all that. So the Repo Man was Barry's idea. Well, Barry's just like, "Hey, I used to repossess cars." And then Vince kind of, went with that, which was a good thing. Like a lot of guys back in the day, it's just like, okay, what was your line of work before? And okay, Boss Man was like, "Oh yeah, I used to be a corrections officer." "Okay, pal, you're gonna be the big boss man." And so
yeah, poor Bob Holly had to race cars.
Yeah.
Now your Sparky plug, pal.
Oh, fucking John Nord, the Berserker. I mean, he became a fucking Viking because he lived in Minnesota and the Minnesota Vikings. No, that's legit.
I know. It's just so good.
No, I'm telling it to him because he's laughing too. But that's the legit fucking reason.
This match is a 1 out of 5. What do you give it? Why was Virgil's nose taped up?
He got his nose broken by Sid Justice.
Okay.
So, wow. I'm gonna give it a 0.5. Honestly,
I was about to say, can I give it a 0.5 too? Before Doug did it, I was thinking that myself.
Well, I did it, so you might as well.
I'll agree with Doug.
All right.
I'm going to give it a 1.
All right. Well, it only gets worse from here.
Well, and on that note, I'll say I'm probably going to ruin the rest of this rating of the show. And I am very hungry.
All right. So
I want to tap out, guys. I'm tapping out.
Is Clint leaving?
Yeah.
You're going to walk?
Well, number 1, I'm hungry. Number 2, my machine keeps going off because I'm dying as well, and I need to get something to eat.
right.
You can't hear the beeping noise.
You wanna tell him what we're doing next week right away so he knows?
Just the current state of wrestling. We're gonna be
Okay.
talking about like a WrestleMania.
And I'll be off
preview.
next Friday too, so I'll be wide awake.
Sounds good. All right, we'll see you next week, brother.
All right,
Bye,
later,
Connor.
Connor.
Bye.
I mean, he lasted longer than I thought he was gonna.
Uh,
But yeah, it's Skinner versus El Matador's up next.
this sucked.
Oh,
I give this a 0.2.
I love Tito Santana to death.
Me too.
Okay. It's actually funny. So there's a funny, I don't know if you've seen the video or not, but there was a convention and then they did a wrestling event in Jersey. And they did a thing during the show where they brought out Tito Santana. They brought him out to his old WWF music. He walks around the ring, shakes hands with the fans, gets in the ring. 73-year-old Tito Santana. Hacksaw Jim Duggan comes out. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who's had a lot of health problems over the last couple of years. He's hunched over, but he's walking around. You know, they introduce him. He's walking around, shaking hands with the fans. He gets in the ring. Next person they introduce, Kurt Angle. He gets up from the table he was at, waves, sits back down. Doesn't bother going to the ring. Because this was a moment where they were going to have everybody get in the ring.
Yeah.
And Kurt, who, by the way, is 20 years younger than these other two, it's just like, fuck you. I don't want to. He stood up for a total of 5 fucking seconds. He stood up for 5 fucking seconds and then sat right the fuck back down.
I love Kurt.
That's something I would do too.
It's just like you have Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who has gone through cancer 6 times over the last 8 years.
Yeah.
And could barely fucking walk. He walked all the way around the fucking ring. You're only in your early 50s, you fuck. And you can only stand up for 5 seconds? Lazy bastard.
Yeah, he also.
I mean,
himself
he's
up
had
to
neck problems.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the most uncomfortable guys out there. That's like.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I'm still going to keep my insult in there, but
Yeah,
fair enough.
Kurt's all fucked up. So that's. I get what you're saying. That is funny, especially with them being older. But I don't blame Kurt for not wanting to move too much after all Kurt's been through.
But I just found it hilarious, and I was just like, they probably expected him to go to the ring, and he just gets up, waves, sits back down, and fans are probably just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And they kept his music going, thinking that he was going to get back up and go into the ring. He's like, nope, I'm good. But yeah, this match fucking blew.
0.2.
Yeah.
Another 0.5.
Yeah.
What are you going to give it?
0.5.
All right. What's next?
Macho Man Randy Savage versus a Berserker. By the way, in between a lot of these, Sean Mooney is giving history lessons on the Intrepid.
Yes.
Yep.
Which everybody was so fascinated by.
If you're a history buff, you are.
Yeah, but who's watching wrestling like, I hope we get a fucking history lesson on a ship.
I
Who
thought
gives a fuck about that? And like the tailor and shit. Like they're having fun with it, and I appreciate it, and it's extra entertainment. But what the fuck?
Sean Mooney, I thought you did a fantastic job.
You just want to get another shout out of this podcast.
You're damn right. Anyway, all right. So
We'll see
up next,
Doug on his podcast next week.
yeah,
He's gonna defect over.
I actually do watch his podcast more than I watch Salamonsters.
Well, he's better than Salamonster.
Yeah,
He's in the business.
yeah.
He's not just some idiot like us.
I want you to debate Salamonster.
Oh no,
I would destroy Salamonster. I
would just fart on him and give him pink
He
eye.
does have some good opinions, but he's not a wizard, and he's not that. And a lot of shit, I think the problem with him and the problem with a lot of mainstream, YouTubers or content creators in the wrestling space is
JD,
I feel like, huh?
JD from New York.
Yeah, Salamonster's broadcast partner on Tuesday Night Titans, by the way.
I think it's easy, and I see this a lot from Rosenberg too, to go for the generic take. I just feel like a lot of their opinions are all the same, and it's all this is good, this is bad, and they have their barometer of what's what and what's entertaining and what's not. And I don't necessarily agree with it. And when you have a bunch of guys all saying the same shit, it's like, why listen to any of them?
Yeah.
I think they always have a generic opinion of they should do this, they should do this, and I never really see them admit that when they're wrong.
That's why I stopped listening to JD from New York.
I'm quick to admit when I'm wrong, because I was with Nash and I was all for, hey, what are we doing with EO here? It's Bianca and Rhea's the match. Do Bianca and Rhea at WrestleMania. I completely agreed with that take, but I was the first one to say I was wrong after WrestleMania and after I saw what they did with EO, because they made her a star.
I think Nash even admitted he was wrong too.
And he's a mature, smart dude. But I didn't understand during the build. I'm like, what are they doing? And then I watched the match and I watched the aftermath of the match. Like, I was completely wrong. They knew what they were doing. Bianca doesn't look any worse, even though she's been gone ever since. But Rhea doesn't look any worse, and Io's a star now. It was perfect storytelling. Yeah. So I don't mind doing that. Feels like a lot of those guys don't. And then they're like, oh, I predicted this. Like, yeah, you really did. Yeah, this match was, I liked Macho Man and Berserker to an extent because of what I had seen prior, the 2 matches before that. So I was like, yeah, at least we have fucking Randy out here. Berserker was never a gimmick I loved either, but Randy got a pretty good match out of him. I'm going to give it a 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree.
Because it's Macho, I'm going to give it a 2 too.
All right, so the last match on the tape.
Main event.
The Warlord versus Tatanka.
Which is a main event anywhere in the country.
Oh.
The main event.
I hate the Warlord.
Warlord always sucked. He always had a great look. And like, he looks like a warlord. So I don't blame them for giving him that moniker. And the outfit was cool. But yeah, he never really had that much personality. And I thought he sucked in the ring.
Yeah, but yet he always wanted to get fucking pushed.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, well, we need you to help elevate these guys. No, I'm the one that has to go over.
Yeah.
Like, and even like the match with Tatanka, and it's not Tatanka's fault.
No.
I mean, Tatanka was able to get over, but I think this is actually one of Warlord's last matches with the company.
Wow.
I mean, it's one of the last like mainstream matches I think he had.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, I'm giving this a 1.
I'm gonna give it a 1-3. That was quick enough.
I already gave it a 1, right? Or I gave it a 2.
No, you gave Savage and Berserker a 2.
Yeah, this match blew. I'll give it a 1.
Okay.
I like Tatanka, and I do think he tried his best, but this was ass.
Yeah.
I kind of like the finish.
And that's why, and the collection of the finish was okay. And the collection of matches is cool, and it's fun to see all the big matches, but it's really the reverse of how a card should be. You start out with your butt cheeks, you let Skinner and fucking whatever be the second match on the card, and then you give me Hulk and them in the main event.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. And that's, I mean, and in here it was just like, oh, this is great. Oh, this is great. Oh. that's the feeling watching this card. The fun stuff, I like Needles the Tailor. I love the Bushwhackers segment. I do think there was some fun shit throughout this, and this is fun for this era. So I'm going to, out of a 10, I'll give the overall tape an 8 out of 10. Because I do think that there's a lot of fun to be had here. Just the later matches really shit the bed.
Yeah, I think they could have picked better matches.
Yeah.
And, you know, there have been better tapes.
I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, actually.
Yeah.
8's a little high for that.
I love this tape, so I'll give it the 8 out of 10.
I only like 3 matches on this card, so I'm going to be a little harsher. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10.
Okay. I mean, it's fair. I mean, they weren't all good. I mean, some of the matches, like, there have been better tapes. Okay. Yeah. Honestly. In 92, there have been better tapes. They did a, Invasion 92, which was the tape that had been released after the Royal Rumble. And you start off with Hogan versus Typhoon, which was a big match. And the last match you have on the tape is Jake the Snake Roberts and The Undertaker versus Macho and Hacksaw. Sprinkled in there, you also have Ric Flair and Bret Hart. You have Bossman doing stuff. You have DiBiase and Virgil. You have the Legion of Doom defending the tag titles. That was a perfect tape. Maybe I should have picked that.
We should do that next time. I mean, next time you're.
Well, yeah, like next time I'm in. I do want to do more Coliseum home video releases.
Yeah, a couple years.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. It's different.
Yeah. I got to win another contest to get the power.
We're done with those.
I guess we'll do a WrestleMania contest.
No, we won't.
He's just like I can't. He's like I can't risk losing power again.
And no more inmates running the asylum. It's back for the warden to come back.
If I win, I'll give it to you, Daniel.
Huh?
If we did a contest, I would give you at least 1 week.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're already the boss. So.
All right. Like I said, next week we're doing a state of wrestling. We're going to talk current AEW and how they've really turned things around. We're going to give a WrestleMania preview. We're going to talk a little NWA and everything else in the glorious world of current wrestling. We haven't done a current show in a while, so for our current fans, join us for that. Doug, what are you doing on your cartoon program?
All right, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern time. It is another Judge's Choice special. So I'm going to have the live show. Sean's going to have the pre-recorded show. I have a feeling that on the pre-recorded show, Eric's going to be forced to do the show in a thong because of all the crap he gives Sean every week. Now that Sean has power, Eric's somehow going to have whipped cream on his nipples. But the matches on my Judge's Choice tomorrow are...
What are you going to have on your nipples?
Cliff versus...
Tassels?
No.
Well, I am actually going to be dressed up as something tomorrow, but we'll leave that to interpretation. All right. Heathcliff versus Goof Troop. Camp Candy versus Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. And if we get fan base and Eric says that John Candy has a bigger fan base than 80s WWF, I will drive to his house and kick him in the face. Also, Batman versus Celebrity Deathmatch. Adventures of the Gummy Bears versus the Smurfs, Rocco's Modern Life versus Darkwing Duck, and the main event is going to be the Flintstones versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep. I already scheduled that, Doug.
I saw that. I saw that as I was coming in. I know the pre-recorded one still has to be scheduled, but obviously you'll take care of that tomorrow.
And do the shorts, please.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We'll see everybody next time.
All right, later.
Goodbye.